So here's what we have going today. It's Friday. I just got off work. It's sunny. My wife has something she has to attend for work, so I have my metal detector. I just picked up dry cleaning, and we're just gonna go knock on a few doors and see if we can find a place to actually metal detect and see what we can find. I actually brought the V3i and I have the Equinox as well. So we'll test some targets and see what the two tell us about the object down in the ground, and then we'll dig them. So there's somebody waiting. Let me get out of their way. Here we go. A lot of the homes around here have been chopped up and made into apartment complexes with multiple people living in them, so sometimes it's hard to get permission. We're just gonna pull over right here. We're gonna go to this house over here, the one with the squirrel in the front yard. I'm gonna put you in my pocket, but we're only gonna hear audio to keep the privacy of folks. Actually, let's go to this one. It looks way cooler, and there's more cars. So we're gonna go to that house right there and ask them now. Now I'm gonna step back away from the door and give them space, because front door is really private, and if it's an older person, give them a lot of time. They may be scared to even come to the door because I'm a stranger. That and I knock too loud all the time. How you doing?
Yeah.
My name's Kenny. I actually work here in and I do a lot of metal detecting, looking for old relics and artifacts and things. Would it be okay if I maybe spent like 2 hours or so in the front yard? If I find stuff that's cool, if it's like a silver coin and stuff, you want it, you can have it, like seriously. So, all right. But my name's Kenny, and what's your name?
Gary.
Gary? Nice to meet you, Gary.
Okay.
It really means a lot to have a place to go metal detect, and I really do appreciate it. So I'll be real courteous to the yard. I won't tear it up. You won't even know I've been here. I use a little ground cloth to put the plug on and that kind of thing. So,
okay.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
All right. So thank you, Gary. We have a nice place, brand new, to metal detect. And it's old, pretty old, and on a brick road. It's just not the yellow brick road. So real quickly, here's our site. Got the brick road and the house right there. That's where we're going. Now what we're gonna do today is we're gonna run the V3i and the Equinox at the same time. I'm gonna have both of them on, both of them running, and we're gonna check the targets and dig them. Now we don't have wind today, but as you're gonna catch it just now, we are gonna have car noise. We could find a pot of gold today. We could find nothing. So I know nothing about this other than it's an old house on an old brick street. So let's head on over there and see what we can find. So we're gonna go into programs, coin and jewelry, select the right coil. I have the 10-inch DD on because my Equinox has an 11-inch coil. So comparable, 10-inch DD. Expert menu, RX gain, we're gonna try about 11. Discrimination sensitivity 91, all metal 72. Search audio, discrimination only. Frequency, all 3. Lock track, filter and speed, search. Ground filter, we're gonna run at 7.5. Recovery delay, we're gonna bring it down. Well, actually, we're just gonna leave it at 50. It's comparable to fast and slow. So let's try it out. So here's the V3i's first target. Got one there and something over here. So we'll go for that one. 4 inches deep. 36, 46, 51. It's kind of all over. All right, to be comparable to the V3i, I have 11-inch coil. That's all I have right now, so it's reasonably close. And we're gonna run in part 2. We will do all the noise canceling, ground balance. We're gonna run in 50 tones, accept, reject. About the same as what I'm running on the other one. I may be up to like +5 on discrimination. But recovery speed, I can't leave that at 6 because that's too high. So the other one was middle of the road. So we go to 1 and we go all the way to 8. So middle of the road on this one, I'm gonna say it's 4, just like on the V3i where we stand at, I think, 50. Now sensitivity on the V3i is at 11. So we can go up to, I think, 15, but you never really can run 15. So we're gonna say 14. So to be comparable to that, I know that I can run up to 25, which is not gonna work. You can hear the EMI. So I'm gonna start bringing it down. It sounds good at 19. That's probably comparable to about where the V3i is set. I'm gonna turn off that auto track and see what this target sounds like. So comparable, the V3i was kind of all over the place, jumping, but on this one I have a 12 and a 13. But remember, this is a compressed scale, so it's not gonna jump as much. but it's a nice, good, solid hit. We'll dig that one and say both those metal detectors, if it ends up being a coin, they both win. So let's go ahead and dig it. The wind has actually started to blow more, so I had to put my little muff on. You'll probably see the fuzz blowing around. But right here is whatever we have. So oddly enough, our target is this. It looks like a 308 bullet. It's not boat tail, so it's military, most likely. Looks like a steel penetrator, to tell you the truth, by the weight. So it does have some cantilore on it, which is those little grooves right there. That's for modern rifles, for the casing to hold against it so you don't have to crimp it. I'm sure you're all not into that. I am, but there's a bullet. So it's a pretty cool find. Let's keep moving. 6.5 inches deep. Negatives, positives, 20s, 32s. I'm going to spin on it, so it's not the best target. Let's just see what the Equinox says. So 19, 20. I would have not dug that signal with my V3i because it was way too iffy. Where this, that's a good hit. Let's try it out. Still down in there. Looks like we're about 6 inches already. So look, V3i said no. The Equinox said dig. I don't know what this is. Let's take a look at it. So here it is. It's just a washer. Now let's look at what kind of metal this is. I'm going to take this here and I'm just going to scratch it. There are people mowing too, so I'm sorry for the noise. But I just scratched this off, and it's a brass disc in the ground at about 8 inches or so. So if this was anything else that was brass, that may have been historically cool, or some other item like a piece of jewelry or whatever. I don't know what all comes in brass, but I would want to find a circular object made of brass. I would not want to miss a target like this because it could have been anything. So let's close this hole up and keep moving. Right there at 2.5 inches, we have a 36, 39, 35. So right there, just mark it. Now I'm gonna get this. 17, nice and steady. Right in the same spot. So both machines hit this, and I'd probably dig it with both of them. And this is what we have. Is just a regular pull tab. So let's keep moving. You get a 32, an 88, a negative number, 32, 85. A little jumpy, but I would dig that. Different story. I would have thought that was a dime or something silver for sure. But we're looking at this, it's a piece of aluminum, foil ball, piece of lead, and it's not all that deep. But right there, so going by the bars, it's about 6 inches deep. Silver coin? No. Piece of rust, which I've had that problem in the past with the V3i. It does that, especially when you have the sensitivities turned up. Flat piece of iron, you'll get those nice high tones, and you'll dig forever and get about 10 inches deep, and you'll run into these things. But with the Equinox, I probably wouldn't have been all that interested in that target because it was an 8. So more true to what the target was. So let's keep going. It's right there, 1 3/4, not that deep. 69, 70, most likely a wheat cent. We'll figure that out. I'm gonna put a golf tee in there, right here. Now let's grab the Equinox. See what the Equinox says. Equinox says 13. It's those circles, actually for horses. I don't know why that's here, but it is. So we'll keep looking. We got 72, 73. Not a lot of signal there. It's probably small. Can't really tell, but 4.5 inches deep. And we'll say this is a penny. Nice and high. That's definitely in the copper penny range. Let's go ahead and dig it. It's a little tiny thing. It's a grommet of some kind that has threads in the middle. That's a pretty small target. So I don't know what it's made out of or what it really is, but we'll keep moving. It's right there, zero, like 3/4 of an inch. We're just gonna go ahead and dig this so we don't waste time. Both machines obviously would hit it. So it's exactly right there. And just in case it turns out being something nice, let's get the Equinox. 22, 23. Not sure. It's a piece of junk metal of some sort. It's real heavy. Might be aluminum. Here's a good one. Let's check this one out. 77. So that might be a dime. We're closer to the street, so let's see. I can tell it's not deep at all because it's beeping twice. So I'm gonna have to actually raise it up. 25, 24. Let's dig it up. It's not a dime. Or at least it's not silver, at least. But it is a coin. It is a wheat cent. So let's see what we have here. Looks like we got a 1957 wheat cent. So that's a pretty cool find. So I've been detecting for a little bit, and there's some low tones and stuff in here, but I'm not digging them. We're now gonna leave the Equinox set just like it is. It's been on the whole time. I'm gonna shut off the V3i, and we're gonna hunt this same spot quickly. Let's see if the Equinox pulls something out of here. So let's get the Equinox and take off with that. There's a target here. So we have target right there, and it's saying 26. Now let's just see if there's other stuff around it. There's something right there that's a 17. Here's ours. There's something kind of over here. So about right there. Let's just get it out of there and see what happens. So here's our 28 iffy. This is a very old button cap that they would have used to put on roofing materials. So not a coin, but flat metal. Same thing the V3i did earlier. There's a target here. Straight 20. Doesn't seem all that deep. 21. I'm gonna boot the V3i back up. There's not a lot of targets in here. I got a lot of iffy ones, but I just really don't understand this machine yet. Now I haven't changed any settings on here. The EMI's increased because it's getting later in the afternoon and people are getting home from work. So looks like the V3i is picking this one up as well. It's right here on the edge. Let's take a look at it. It's pretty crusty. It's a wheat cent, so that's pretty cool. See if I can get a date off of it. No, not going to. It's pretty crusty, so at least we know it's a wheat cent. So let's keep looking. Maybe 18 or so, right there. Now it's showing 17. So now the V3i still set up and ground balanced. Nothing. Maybe a 36, a real scratchy. You can see on the left, bunch of iron. Still pinpoints it. Still right there on top of that T. So let's see what happens. V3i says no. Oh, my sun went away for some reason. Now it's starting to get cold out here. Not fun. Still in the hole. We're down pretty deep now. Well, there you go. It is a coin. It's actually an Indian. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. So we have a really crusty Indian that rang in at a 19 or 20. And I'm gonna measure because it just came out the bottom of that hole. My finger's on the place right there, so I'm gonna bring it around. Sorry. About 6 inches deep, we have an Indian. V3i said no on that, which I'm glad I had the Equinox, and it's a 1903 Indian head cent. Pretty awesome stuff. I would have wanted to find that. Let's keep on going. If it was shallow, it'd beep twice. So 17 to 20, not a real consecutive number. So on the V3i, we now have a weed eater running, so I'm sorry. We got a 26, 37. It's kind of definitely ringing pretty loud. So 4 inches, 3 1/4, 30, 38, 23. So it might be junk. Before we pop this out of here, would you have dug that with the V3i? Hunting low signals, looking for rings, stuff like that. With the Equinox being in close to 20 for sure, but maybe not so much on the V3i. So what we have is this. And just like the last copper coin we found, it rang in nice and loud, and it was you know, you wanted to dig it. So what is this? It's another wheat cent. You know, I could have passed that up thinking it was a pull tab, because most of my pennies, you know, wheat cents and stuff, they're at least in the 60s, 70s. And again, this one's just as crusty as it can be. On the good side, it looks like a 44 or 41. So there it is. Let's keep moving. Now I have a 50 recovery speed on that V3i, which is really fast for that machine. This is set on a 5, but I'm going to show you the pinpoint what's down there. There's something else in there, and it's a piece of iron. There's a target right there, 6 inches that way from it. And there's another one right there. But I found that coin right there, between that, I think this and this. So however many where I just showed you. 22, 24, not all that consistent. So we'll go with possibly a coin, mark the spot. V3i is hitting it real good. So let's get down in there. Looks like we have another wheat cent. There's the back of it. There's the date. It's a 1936, it looks like. So 1936 wheat cent. Let's keep moving. All right, very last target of the day. We have one right here. Get right over top of it. A little higher. It's not all that deep. Now let's see what the V3i says. So 26, 27-ish. V3i. Hits a 2. Right about there, only 2 3/4 of an inch deep. I'm gonna say a silver coin. And there it is. It's right here. Let's hush this thing up. So both the V3i and the Equinox nailed this thing. What do you think that is? Barber? Mercury? It's a Mercury. So, what year do we have here? A 1944 Mercury. So there's one Mercury in this yard. Because if you're running a V3i and an Equinox over the yard and you don't find any silver, I'm pretty sure there's no silver there. So here's a dime. 1944. So that's it for our hunt today. Learned quite a bit, and I've actually found my first silver with the Equinox, so that's kind of cool if I don't break it. So I'm gonna get this stuff put away and head home, get it all cleaned up so I can take it back out on Sunday. Kind of want to hunt some of these inner town lots now, just because finding some coins. We're gonna go back to Zimmerman's Knob. It's a very trashy site. I'm gonna crank this Equinox up and see if it can pull something out. Just see what happens. Fields are gonna get planted soon, and I need to get to them and hunt them as much as I can. And then we'll stop hunting fields and do some more stuff like this. So, I guess that's it. I'm gonna put this stuff away and head home. But thank you very much for watching my videos, and until next time, take care.